want to tell you a story that still keeps me awake at night. Something that changed the way I see the world forever. This happened a few years ago when I was driving through the desolate back roads of West Virginia, a route I had taken countless times before. Before we get into the story, I'm Devin, and this is Porch Lore. Please be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel and help me reach 1,000 subscribers. Enjoy the story. This is Porch Lore. And I'm your host, Devin. This is the tale of the dark road. It was late, past midnight, and I was heading back home after visiting my friend Stevie in Virginia. The drive should have been uneventful. Just miles of empty road, dense trees on either side, and the occasional abandoned building, relics of a town long since faded from existence. There's a particular stretch of road out there, one that locals avoid at night. I'd heard the stories, disappearances, strange lights, whispers in the woods, but I always chalked them up to small town superstition. I wasn't afraid of the dark, and I wasn't the kind of person to be put off by ghost stories. But that night made me a believer. It started with the headlights. I noticed them in my rear view mirror, distant but steady, and matching my speed exactly. At first, I thought it was just another traveler on the lonely road, but the way they stayed perfectly behind me, never gaining, never falling back, felt strange. So I sped up. Then, so did they. So I slowed down. And so did they. Okay, weirdo, leave me alone. This was supposed to be a peaceful country drive. The road stretched for miles with no turnoff, no places for me to even pull over. Just the dense, looming forest on both sides. Then, just as I was starting to get major anxiety, the headlights suddenly vanished. And it's not like they turned off. There was nowhere for them to turn off. It's not like the driver had slowed down or taken a turn. They just disappeared, as if they had never been there at all. I told myself I was imagining things, that exhaustion was playing tricks on me. I knew I shouldn't have left Stevie's house so late. I was just too tired. But then, my radio cut out. The static filled the car, loud and suffocating, rising in pitch until it was almost unbearable. Then, through the static, just beneath the screeching noise, I swore I heard something else. A voice. Not speaking, not whispering, just kind of breathing. Long, shallow breaths. It almost sounded as if someone was in the back seat of my car right behind me. I didn't look. I couldn't. Instead, I pressed the gas, desperate to reach the next town. The road stretched endlessly ahead. The trees seemed taller, darker, like they were closing in. The minutes felt more like hours. And then I saw it. Something standing in the middle of the road. At first, I thought it was a deer. But as I got closer, I realized it was a person, a woman. She was standing completely still, illuminated by my high beams. Her hair was long, matted, and hanging over her face, like the girl in the movie The Ring. Her clothes were old and tattered. It looked like some type of dress from another time. I slammed on the brakes, my heart hammering in my chest, but she didn't move. She didn't even flinch. I should have turned around. I should have backed up and gotten as far away from that place as possible, but I didn't. Something about the way she stood there, the way her head tilted just slightly, as if listening for something, held me in place. And then, in one impossibly fast motion, she lifted her head and looked right at me. Her eyes, they weren't human. They were black, not just dark, not just shadowed, but pure black. Empty voids where her eyes should have been. And then, she smiled at me. The radio static roared in my ears, the breathing now growing louder and closer. Then, my headlights flickered, and in that split second of darkness, she had somehow moved way closer to my car. I threw my car into reverse, tires screeching as I tore backward down the road. I didn't care where I was going. I didn't care if I crashed. I just needed to get away from her ASAP. And as I looked into my rearview mirror, she was still there, standing in the exact same spot, just watching me and smiling that horrifying grin. I don't remember getting home. I don't even really remember the rest of the drive. One minute, I was speeding down that road backwards, and the next, I was pulling into my driveway, shaking so hard I could barely get the key into the door. I never took that route again. I never even spoke about it to anyone. But sometimes when I'm driving alone at night, I'll catch something in my peripheral vision, a shadow on the road, and I still can't bring myself to glance into that rearview mirror again. I'm Devin, and thanks for joining me, Porch Pals. For more stories like this, be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel and help me reach 1,000 subscribers. And remember, there's always room for one more on the porch.